Hello everyone, it's your girl Sunny Potato. So let's talk Raccoon Lagoon. Since this is a review of the game, it's very safe to say that there are going to be spoilers. If you'd rather listen to the TLDR summary, jump to the end. There will be a timestamp in the description below. Oh, and while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe. To start off, my rating system for games is based on 5 criteria: storyline, gameplay, graphics, sound, and replay value. So each one is going to be rated on a 5-star system, with 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. Now that we have that out of the way, let's begin with storyline. In a nutshell, it's short but nice. Essentially, the Nims, the little NPC animal things, destroy the precious phoenix egg held sacred by people, Nims, and the island itself. The island, aka Mr. Volcano up there, became enraged, and the Nims basically just dipped. And when he had a meltdown, the people at some point either died from maybe burning lava or smoke asphyxiation, or they just left shortly after. Either way, you wake up to a mysterious voice saying that you've been asleep for a long time. Am I a god, demon, person in a coma? I have no idea. My character looks like a person in the customization menu, so we're gonna go off that. The mysterious voice gives you the impression that they themselves once lived on the island too, but there's also no mention if you two knew each other or who this voice even is. It's a super small island, like a population of 50 kind of size. I would get the feeling that everyone had to know everyone. My guess it's a spirit of a deceased dweller still haunting the island in hopes of restoring it to its former glory. Luckily for it, you are still alive and well, but still not entirely sure why you are where you are. Anyways, you find the beach where there's a boat in the ocean struggling against the waves in the storm. You are instructed to light a beacon to help guide the boat, but it's too late. Might I add that the beacon is super small? I'm not sure what kind of help it might have had at some time during its actual normal usage. Regardless, the Nims appear on the beach where you're introduced to them. I'm also not sure why they decided to return to the very island that they destroyed. There's also no time frame between when the Angry Island eruption and their return happened, so it could have been between a couple of months, maybe a few decades. It's not made entirely clear just how much time has actually passed. So Mr. Volcano does seem still upset, gauging by the dark clouds around his quote-unquote head, but he is tolerating our presence for now. The voice will assist you in figuring out what the Nims want, as the icons in their little thought bubbles are kind of hard to interpret sometimes. The voice will also comment here and there on buildings and newly unlocked regions, giving you more insight to the areas when it was fully inhabited by people and Nims. The goal is simple: find the pieces and reassemble a phoenix egg, give everyone clothing, and stock the town hall with requested items. Just a quick comment, I don't know why the Nims aren't doing this. They seem perfectly able-bodied and destroyed the egg in the first place. But no, my random ass needs to do this job hunt and find all the shards, bring peace back, and all while doing their bidding and fetching all their wanted items. And they just get to do whatever they want. Not entirely sure how that worked out. They just give us hearts, and I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do with a bunch of hearts in my inventory in the end, but regardless, once the egg is complete, the phoenix will hatch from the just previously shattered egg, and it will fly around a bit. A short clip plays of birthday parties and jolly good times, and the Nims and the phoenix act like as if nothing had happened. The credits roll, and that's it. You do have the option of going back to the game to finish any side quests you might still have. To get 100% completion, you do have to go back, as there are some things that you need, like another phoenix egg and feathers, to create other items. With all this in mind, the storyline does get a rating of 3 out of 5 stars. There are just too many questions, not enough answers, and a lot of sense that's not being made logically nor rationally. While I do like the idea itself, it just doesn't feel flushed or complete. Next is gameplay. So get ready to hear me talk. This is where most of my pros and cons come in. Raccoon Lagoon is easy to pick up control-wise for movement and inventory. It did make me seasick for the first hours. I'm not really used to adventure-style games. If you are prone to motion sickness, seasickness, I highly recommend sitting in a swivel chair so you can still be able to look around a little easier. I did find that sitting really helped me out with this, so that's kind of how I was playing the game. Grabbing and dropping more than one stacked item did become an issue though. Unless you grab them in a particular way, you will only pick up one item versus the whole stack. Same for dropping multiple items into, say, a bucket for a store upgrade. It will only think one item is being dropped in, while the rest of the stack will just fall to the ground without triggering the bucket. This became very annoying very quickly, but I did learn that if you grip the stack with both the trigger and the grip button, then release the first item in the stack by letting go of the trigger button, then let that be sucked up by the bucket or character, then release the grip button to release the rest of the stack, it will eventually suck up the remainder of those items and allowing any extra to fall to the ground. So there was a workaround, but it took a little bit of finagling to figure it out. It was fun to be able to pick up and pet the NPCs and the animals. I know what you're thinking, you cannot throw them into the water nor the lava. I tried, but it was for science, of course. The way you pick up flowers and crops was neat, making you pull them upwards like you actually would in reality. Same thing for like dead crops, when they withered, you can just pull them straight up. I did really like that effect. I also found that the distance in which you can reach for an item was nice as well. Since I was sitting to keep my seasickness at bay, I thought it would be hard for me to reach unless I stood up, but you can actually grab things from pretty far. I enjoyed the mini puzzles that you had to go through. For the mountain area in specific, there is a cave with lava. You need to use a watering can tool to cool off the lava to get through it. The game doesn't say this is possible at all, so you really have to kind of experiment with this. There are instances when the game will outright tell you what it wants though. For example, the fisherman will want certain fish from different regions as part of his side quest. It will be next to a body of water where you can find that particular fish, and the water will even display like a bait icon logo over it, so throwing the bait into the water will trigger the special fish he wants. I will say this though, the demands of the animals are quite obnoxious towards the end. I felt like no matter how much I gave them, they always wanted more. It does give you a slight feeling of hopelessness, like all your actions of giving them the requested items meant nothing or wasn't enough. Despair aside, the quest got very tedious as I progressed through the game, as the whole thing is a fetch quest style. You go to one area, gather, go to the embassy, deliver, find another NPC, gather, repeat over and over and over again. So towards the end, it did become a little monotonous. I enjoyed the upgrade system and the region unlocking system. The idea of hearts being a type of currency used to upgrade your tools and open new areas was clever, and I liked it. It gave me a purpose for completing the request. You do start with level 1 tools, like the axe and the pick and the fishing rod, for example. Watering can also. Paintbrush and the boomerang are their own levels, but the other 4 do start with level 1s. You can purchase up to level 3 for these. In addition, there's only a grand total of 8 areas that need the hearts for opening, so this whole process of using the hearts to unlock all these does not take long at all. The problem is that you keep getting hearts even after all these are used, spent, whatever you want to call it, and so there's nothing left to really spend them on. Sure, there are a few like furniture pieces, and the Phoenix does require some hearts to get its stuff, but you still end up with so many hearts in the end that your inventory just kind of fills with them, and there's not a whole lot of other things you can use them for. Speaking of inventory, I liked that there were 3 pages worth. Going from one page to another got stuck a few times, but other than that, it worked pretty good. Also, if there was anything behind your tablet when you have it open, your character will accidentally interact with the item behind your tablet instead of whatever you're trying to pick on for your open tablet. There is also no way to get rid of your items. Once you have them, you have them. You can purchase chests to put the items into if you run out of space, but then you have to travel back to the region where your chest was placed to find whatever item you're looking for. This became kind of difficult as there is no player home specifically. You do wake up in a little temple / cave that you could make your home, but there's no real home. Like the animals get their stores, there's no such thing for you. I was hoping that since this was coined as a combination of Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing, that you get your own home and decorate it and keep your items in. Nope, no home for you. You can buy all these really cool decorations in each of the stores for the areas, but that's it. You just decorate the areas. You don't really get them for your own space, which was kind of disappointing. Lastly, the raccoons. Oh my god, I hate these guys. I completely understand where developers are coming from when these were brought in, but seriously, they are the equivalent to a mosquito buzzing right outside of your ear. It's easy to whack them away, but their frequency is way too much, and I have to stop what I'm doing, pull my axe or pick out, wait for their tiny asses to come waltzing over to me, or I have to go to them for faster whacking. Also, just another side note, I'm not sure why this game was chosen to be called Raccoon Lagoon. It's an island, not a lagoon, and raccoons aren't even the main part of this game, they're just the annoying part. I know it rhymes and it sounds cute, but why not something like Nim Island or something like that? With that, the gameplay gets a rating of 4 out of 5 stars. Overall, I think it's well done. As with any game, it's not going to be perfect. Things will happen, there will be bugs here and there, but I overall really enjoyed it and I had a really good time with it. I didn't find that the annoyances outweighed the pros at all. Next is graphics. It's very cute and it's pretty. In short, it's soft and it's got a real childlike innocence vibe to it, and I really liked it. The road from the main hub region to the farmland region really gave me a GameCube era Spyro feeling, which I kind of appreciate the nostalgia a little bit. Each region has its own separate type that transitions from one to another really well, and I really like things like the cave system with the lava, the varying levels, the tunnels, and the pretty sparkles on the ceiling. But I also like places like the Highlands where it's got the pretty open ocean, the hills, and the snow. I just thought it was all very aesthetically pleasing. I do wish the regions were bigger, but I understand that this has to be a minimal to zero loading screen kind of game, so it has to be kind of on a smaller scale, especially with VR being such a newer concept too. The Greek or Roman style that they have going on was really nice, and I also appreciate that the decay theme was consistent throughout the island to give the continuous feeling that you are there to revive the past and bring back what was lost. Overall, the graphics get a score of 5 out of 5 stars. I really did like it. Everything seemed to fit, and you really felt like you were in the game regardless of this being VR or not. It really did pull you in. Sound and music is next. I found that the ambient music to be soothing and nice to listen to. It's soft and definitely not in your face. There is lightning and thunder to signal the end of the day along with the sound of rain. This is a nice touch as it gives you plenty of time to quickly finish what you're doing before the end of the day. This can be especially nice when you're in the caves and can't see the sky darkening. The thunder can still be heard inside the cave, so you know you have a countdown timer until the end of the day. The sound of the raccoons coming for your things is a nice heads up too. While the raccoons are very frequent to the point of annoyance, there is at least a noise to alert you. All your tools will have sound effects that work well too. Axe and picks have a special chime that when they are and are not able to bring down their tree or rock, so it's obvious when you need an upgraded tool to do so. The animals have their own noises and NPCs too. Some are quite odd, but it makes for good fun and it shows that each are unique from each other. The animal noises are super cute, like the bunnies and the massively cute bear. The sound and music section gets a rating of 5 out of 5. I really didn't see anything wrong with it. I really liked how it sounded, it fit the theme and the vibe of the game, and it was really helpful with its cues and chimes. Lastly is the replay value. To be honest, I feel like I'll go back to this game once I've forgotten about it. It's just so short and repetitive that you don't miss a lot by not completing it all the way. It just doesn't feel enticing enough to start again immediately afterwards. You grind for so long to get materials just to dump them into a bucket or to acquire clothes or to make the town hall happy that it's just not interesting enough to do it again anytime soon. Due to this, the replay value gets a score of 2 out of 5 stars. Don't get me wrong, I still highly enjoyed playing the game. It was fun and cute for the time I did play, but it's too simple and short to grab me for a second time right away. It's not like I can just say, oh, I tried to go the evil route this time, well, let's see what happens when I don't push the rabbit into the lava. There's nothing to alter the flow or change the game up at all, so I would need time to pass and memory to fade before I can jump back into it again. In the end, I rate the game as a whole at 4 out of 5 stars. The pros vastly outweighed the cons in my book. If you have a different opinion though, let me know what you think in the comments. For all those that click the TLDR button, here's your spoiler-free summary of the game. If you like Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing, you will enjoy this game too. It's a fetch quest style game. It can be repetitive, but it's cute and wholesome. It's a pretty game graphically and musically and offers some exploring. But remember, it's not an expensive game, and you don't get a lot of the same things you expect to have. While I did enjoy my time with it, and I do recommend it to people, not everyone will get the same type of enjoyment of it. Well, that's all I have for you folks today. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, a like is very much appreciated. I hope to see you all in the next one.